Hey guys, this is DJ Tamara back with you for yet another week of Third Strike Rock. Welcome back. Hope everyone has had a great week. Got some great new tunes to play for you from some new artists and some returning artists, so we won't waste any time and get right into it.
We got prisons overflowing, and then politicians who cheat throughout the land. People who wake up to fight every day, 'cause they just don't believe there can be a better way. There are ministers with scandalous affairs. Too many people saying that they just don't care. We're at the verge of defending ourselves to death. because some greedy ones want to live better than the rest. There are the blacks and the whites locked in a racial war. Children who are being abused near and far. Drugs on the streets in our neighborhood, killing our precious minds that could do us good. We got to change this world, change it if we care. We gotta start with the children, teach them to love everyone they can. We got to change this world, change it if we care. We gotta start with the children, teach them to love everyone they can. We got to raise a better child if we want a better world. We gotta teach them how to love, and most of all, how to love themselves. Have the children take a look around them and know that everything they see started with a thought, including you and me. They gotta know you can't hurt anybody without hurting yourself. And if you strive to live in harmony, then love is the very first step. We gotta take a good look at the children and teach them that we care, because this great big world we live in will one day be in their hands. Teach them to love instead of fighting, agree before there's war, and drugs will make them lose their mind before they are very far. We got to change this world, change it if we care. We gotta start with the children, teach them to love everyone they can. We gotta change it, we gotta do it all. Don't you know, don't you know, we gotta teach the children, gotta give them love, y'all. We gotta do it all. Don't you know, don't you know, gotta teach the children, gotta give them love.
It is my feeling that the God consciousness that binds us all is the most logical of logic and the most reasonable of reason, that pure right may know, knowing all wrong but doing none. So let my children grow in every direction possible. Let them seek knowledge as vast as the universe itself. Let them know that the only limitations possible are mental. Let them know that creation has born us all creators and fully responsible for that. Let them not be weakened by lack of knowledge, but strengthened by all of it. Let them open their minds to every avenue of life so that knowledge may flow in abundantly. Let them know that knowledge of all things in life and all mankind brings with it knowledge of oneself and inner joy attained. Let them know that happiness is a result of indulgence in life through reason bought from knowledge. Let them know that life never fails, that this is only a trait of humans who quit. Let them not care who argues for or who argues against, for they both deal in foolishness. But let them learn of both sides and infuse it with reason. Seek purpose for all. Let them seek their knowledge as a mother seeks to hold her infant with warm acceptance. Let them seek, learn, and learn. And as they seek and learn, may their goal be knowledge and their guide be wisdom. And their life shall be happiness born to reason, to innocent minds. And then let them teach me as I as well.
Change this world, change it if we can. We gotta start with the children, teach them to love everyone they can. We got to change this world, change it if we can. We gotta start with the children, teach them to love everyone they can. We got to change this world.
right, hope you enjoyed those two tunes. We have a couple of new artists there to my show. The first one was called Autumn by a band called Pardon Me Sir. They are an LA-based band, indie punk rock band, and we welcome them to our show. You can find them on Facebook. Again, their name is called Pardon Me Sir. The second tune that I played was Change This World by Movin Melvin. He is a singer, dancer, tap dancer. He also does comedy, character, mime, robotics, storytelling, and he's a song stylist. He is out of Austin, Texas. You can find him on Facebook as well by typing in Movin Melvin. All right, so as I've been promising for a long time, we're going to have a new feature to my show, and it is band interviews. Normally, it will be Drum and Rob that will be doing these interviews. However, this one I chose to do because Drum and Rob is in the band that I interviewed. What we're going to do is kick it off with the station ID that the band created. They are called White Truck Band. Then we're going to get right into the 30-minute interview that I recorded with them a few days ago. And then we will end the segment with a song that they chose to have us play called Getting Over You. I really hope that you all enjoy this segment. We'll come back with some more music after that. Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Greg.
I'm John. I'm Rob. And we are
White Truck Band.
And you're listening to Third Strike Rock.
Hey Third Strike Rockers, we have our first interview on any of my shows. I know I mentioned to you guys in the past we were going to start doing interviews that were going to be given by Drum and Rob, but he's actually a part of the interview today, so I'm the one doing the interview. We are going to do our first interview, and this is with White Truck Band, based out of Jonestown, Texas. I've played their music before on my show, so let's get right into it. We've got Rob Hernandez Jr. here with us.
How do?
And we've got Greg Neely,
How are you?
a couple of members of the band, and they'll be answering lots of questions for us. I created these questions based on what would a fan want to know, because I am one of their biggest fans. All right, so Rob, we'll start with you.
Yes, ma'am.
What year did you guys decide to start White Truck Band? Do you remember?
I guess, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I
right?
would say maybe 2002, 2003 time period.
Okay. And Greg, what made you guys start White Truck Band?
Well, we needed money, and we were all seasoned musicians, and we were able to go out and not really practice a lot and please the crowd and play copy material and have a good time and make a little money.
Okay. And Rob, do you remember who came up with the name of the band and what was the inspiration behind that band name?
Yes, it was an ex-member. He is no longer with the band. His name is Steve Crenton. He actually was Communique's bass player for a while. He was playing with Greg and Johnny, and he basically named the band White Truck Band after they were rehearsing, I believe, in a warehouse.
Yep.
And they saw a bunch of white vehicles, white truck vehicles in the parking lot.
Yep, that's about the way it was. Yeah,
Okay.
let's call it the White Truck Band.
There we go.
They wanted to call it the White Trash Band, but it had already been taken.
All right, and just to speak to the fans out there that listen to your music, I want to have each one of you guys tell us you could just tell us your first name, that's fine, and what your role is in the band. Now, I know, like a lot of bands, you may not only be the drummer, but you may also do booking duties or whatever, so let us know a little bit. We'll start with you, Greg.
My name's Greg, and I am the lead guitar player, vocalist. I do a lot of the recordings, help Rob out with photography and stuff like that. We all work together. That's probably one of the reasons why we've stayed together so long, is because we all have so many different types of things we can do together.
Yeah, hi, I'm Rob. I'm the drummer. I also do percussion. I kind of differentiate the two. Drummers behind a drum kit, percussionists, congas, bongos, djembe, that kind of thing. And I also try to do some of the booking. I do a lot of the online presence, which is working with the website, emailing booking managers, and things of that nature.
Okay, and being that Johnny couldn't make it to the interview, Greg, tell us what Johnny does for the band.
Well, Johnny is probably the lead vocalist. He's a bass player, and he also plays piano in the band.
Yep.
He has a lot of people that like his style. So really, to be honest with you, he gets a lot of the crowds to come out.
He's a mushroom.
Yeah, he is.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah, he is.
And while we're on the subject of Johnny, the next question I was going to ask is about musical influences. On behalf of Johnny, Greg, what would you say his musical influences are?
I would have to say in his early years was Bad Company. He really likes that type of vocal. Bob Seger, definitely. He can sound like Bob Seger when he wants when we play live. So we do a lot of Bob Seger when we play out.
And what are your musical influences, Rob?
Oh my God, they vary. My main musical influence, drumming influence, Mike Portnoy. He used to play with Dream Theater, now he plays with Winery Dogs. Another great influence, no surprise here, John Bonham for Led Zeppelin, Peter Criss, who played with Kiss. Just a wide variety of influences. I've also been influenced by Jimi Hendrix, not as a guitarist, but more as an audio engineer. I love what he did in the studio and the way he approached music as an audio engineer.
Greg, what about you? What are your musical influences?
My younger years was George Harrison and John Lennon for guitar. You know, CCR, man, that band just really gave me a really happy way to play guitar. That's really pretty much for the younger years. I'll have to say now it's Kings of Leon, and the one thing that always sticks in my mind is Led Zeppelin.
Awesome.
All right, so what are you guys currently working on? Recording or getting ready for gigs? You want to start that off, Rob?
I think right now we're working on our CD. We've got so much material between the three of us. We've just, been able to accumulate a lot of great original music, and we're in the process of putting it all down on CD. We want to create a really, really good album that people can enjoy, whether they're driving, whether they're chilling out with friends, whatever it is that they're doing. We want the music to actually speak to the crowds, the working man. That's kind of who we are targeting, people that are actually out there, getting it done, getting the work done. Hopefully our music speaks to the working, person. And we just want to be able to record a great CD. One of the things we're going to have to figure out, since we have so much music, which songs are we going to put on the CD first? And I think that's one of the things we're going to have to work out.
Greg, is there anything else that you guys are currently working on besides recording?
Well, all of our recordings are just about being completed, but the really good thing about this band is we're going to put a CD out with about 11 to 13 songs, and guess what? We have enough material to put another CD out with 13 or 14 songs. So we're just going to get it together and still play music at the clubs and the copy tunes, and we do work on our copy tunes a lot. We have CDs that we work together so we can go out and play and have a good time at the same time. It's not easy recording. It's really not. It's a challenge, and we're getting there. Mm-hmm. We are.
So, Greg, this lineup that you guys have, Rob, you, and Johnny, is this your original lineup?
Well, actually, if you want to call it original, it is, except for Crittenton. He was the bass player, and Johnny played the drums during that time, and it was only for a short time, but we've been together with this unit for going on close to 7 years.
Wow. So
yes, it is, as far as I'm concerned, the original format.
Okay. And I'll start this one off with you, Rob. If White Truck Band could open for any band, who would you like that to be?
Dream Theater.
Greg,
Dream
you?
Theater. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go way out and say Paul McCartney. Of course, that'll never happen, but
You never know.
there's a lot of local bands in Austin, Texas
Yes,
that
there is.
rock. I would be proud to be a backup band for any of those guys.
I would love to open for any of these guys that have a bigger following than us, just so that we could have the opportunity to show their crowd, what White Truck is capable of doing. Who knows, they might even enjoy our music also.
Greg, I'll start with you on this one. What would be your dream goal for White Truck Band? Would it be touring North America or playing lots of local shows, or what would it be?
I'm pretty simple with it. I would like to be able to turn on to some of the local channels like 98.9 and turn on my car in the morning and actually hear a White Truck Band on the radio. Touring and all that stuff is great, but really, to be honest with you, I would just like to be able to have somebody listen to my music on the radio.
You, Rob?
I would love to be able to hear some of our music, like Greg mentioned, on local radio, but also it wouldn't be bad to be able to go out and even do local touring. Local meaning the Texas area.
Yeah, like a mini tour.
Dallas,
Yeah.
Houston,
Right.
San Antonio, Corpus Christi, maybe even out west, El Paso area. I think, Greg,
Yeah,
you're
that
from
would
that
be
area.
really great.
It would be fun to be able to play some of these, bigger markets here in the Texas area. And who knows, if we get a little bit bigger than that, I'm fine with that.
We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, I think, Rob, when you were talking about your role in the band, but who does the majority of the booking for the band? Or do you guys kind of spread it evenly? Or you don't have an agent, right? You guys do your own booking.
We don't have an agent. We try to do all our own booking.
Is it primarily you, or?
Well, me and Greg were doing a lot of the booking in the past. Since we've been recording, we've been kind of slow on booking the band, but each member in the band is very capable of booking the band.
You do some booking duties as well, Greg?
Yeah, Johnny and I both, we have places that we've played that they want us back. So we check in with them every now and then. Like I said, our first priority was to be a copy band and entertain. And we still enjoy that to the utmost. It's just that the last couple of months, well actually since about October, we've been really diligently trying to get our music recorded to where we can have a little bit more of a crowd, a following of people that, hear us in different places.
Right. Okay, and Greg, I'll shoot this one at you first. What songs do you guys have that were written with a special meaning? I mean, obviously, all of your original material came from somewhere in your lives and experiences, but which ones really stand out for you that have special meaning? What are the names of those songs, and what are they about?
Yeah, well, definitely the top of the list is Little Face. That's my boy's song. He had some problems with cancer, and when he was a little bit younger, I wrote a song especially for him. Little Face, the top of the heap. Thick and Thin, Johnny wrote. Thick and Thin is a song about a guy that just has had nothing but bad luck in his life, and all of a sudden he sees an opportunity. That's really the two. Like I said, we have a lot of songs, but those two songs really are one of the reasons why I love writing music.
Well, and being a fan of your music, I'm not surprised that you mentioned those two. Rob, what about you? Are there any that stand out to you that were written for a special reason and what they were about? Besides the ones that Greg mentioned.
Beside the ones that Greg mentioned,
I'd have to say 4 o'clock in the morning for him.
4 o'clock in the morning sounds pretty much kind of how I have lived some of my life. It is awesome because at 4 o'clock in the morning there is no better sound than, and it's just
Go ahead,
an
Greg.
awesome
You can do yours
sound.
too.
Well, Papa Top.
There you go.
We all enjoy. I think that's the thing about us. We all enjoy all the songs that we record because they're all different, and it's not. Have you ever listened to a band and it's like one song sounds like another song? Well, you listen to White Truck Band, man. It's like, wait a minute, they were just playing a rock and roll Led Zeppelin song, and then all of a sudden they're playing Garth Brooks kind of a riff.
Exactly.
And that's the reason why we got together as a band.
And
we
not
all play
only
different kinds of stuff.
and not only that, but we are very capable of doing an acoustic show all night long. We used to do gigs where that's what we did. I had congas and or a djembe, and that was it. We would play 3 to 4 hours a night, and it was all acoustic. Greg had an acoustic guitar, and Johnny, I believe he had an acoustic bass, and we would be playing acoustic shows, and we would pretty much do it all night long. So some of the music on our CD will reflect some of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the secret to really being in a band that you enjoy, because there is no way that all night I want to rock out to Led Zeppelin, man. I want to be able to have somebody dancing a nice, quiet song, or, you want to be with your girl on the stage. Well, I don't think you want to play, Jimi Hendrix, Yeah, well, we do play Jimi Hendrix.
We do play Jimi Hendrix. We love
I
it.
think it's nice to see people enjoying the music no matter what age they are. Hey, are you playing Amarillo by Morning? My gosh, I have to take my girlfriend up there and dance on the stage. And then you get somebody else that wants to rock out with
Freebird!
or whatever, and then you got the guys that are like, oh, well, let's see what these guys can do. I played in a club on 6th Street, and I had the owner of the club come up to me and tell me, you know what? I have never, ever heard somebody play Ricky Don't Lose That Number in a 3-piece band. It rocked.
Yep.
And I was like, wow.
Well,
I kind of thought it sucked, but
as one of your fans,
I
I would
listened
agree.
to it on recordings and live, and I was like, holy moly, we
sounded
really sounded
pretty
good
good
on that.
Yep. Steely Dan happens to be one of my favorite bands.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And, the fact that they used a wide variety of musicians for almost every album, there was different musicians. That was awesome.
It was, and a lot of their stuff was recorded live on an album, and it's just phenomenal. And if you have a chance, go and Google Steely Dan live. It'll blow your mind.
Yes, it will.
It's beautiful music.
Yes, it will.
All right, so we're going to take it back down a little bit, and I want to switch gears a little bit here. A lot of fans like to connect with the musicians they listen to on a personal level as well. So I'd like for you guys to tell us a little bit about yourselves. If you have a girlfriend, a wife, if you have kids or whatever. Like, what do you do for a living? Because, you're not full-time musicians right now. I know enough about you guys to know that. So you don't give us names of where you work, but just tell us the kind of industry you're in. Rob, we'll start with you.
I work in a machine shop. It's 40 hours a week. That's what I do currently as my full-time job, which, part of my job consists of, shipping and receiving. I ship out, items on pallets, put them on big old 40, 50-foot freight trucks, and sometimes I unload them. As far as my girlfriend, well, we'll just leave that as a mystery to all our mystery fans out there.
It is a girl, though.
Oh,
Okay.
of course.
Anything else you'd like to share? Do you have kids?
Well, yeah, I do have a daughter. She is currently going to school up in the Dallas area for music. She has a music scholarship, I like to think she got some of that from her old man.
All right, Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself. What kind of industry you're in, if you have a family, kids,
I have a family. They're great. I love them to death. I have a child that had some trouble when he was a little baby. He had a brain tumor and he had a lot of problems. But you know what? He's a warrior, and I'm so
Yes,
proud
he
of him.
is.
He is like really the total influence of my life. He's 8 years old now. He's rocking. He plays the drums a little bit. He's a good reader. I have a job that nobody wants. I'm a compliance officer, and we'll just leave it at that.
All right, being that Johnny is not here today, Greg, can you tell us a little bit about Johnny personally so fans can connect with him more as well?
Well, Johnny's a entrepreneur of all kinds of things. He builds swimming pools. He has an artistic way about him on his jobs. You know, some people just, they can't go very long. They get bored with the job and they have to move on. But he's done a lot of different things, and he's good at a lot of things that his job requirements. You know, he just has a knack to change positions and do all right, which is the way it is in America sometimes.
Kind of like a
Right.
jack of all trades.
Yes, he is a jack of all trades.
Okay.
Good carpenter. He's just an all-around good guy.
All right. Greg, do you guys have any shows booked that are upcoming?
No, actually, we decided that we're not going to book anything until probably around the middle of February for the spring, because we really want to get the CD out and we really want it to sound good.
Yeah.
And you really, with the time that we have together, we need to work on our stuff, our CD, and make it sound really good. Playing in a band is a lot of work, especially when you go out to the clubs and play. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's something people don't understand.
Yeah, and it's load in,
when
load
you're in
out.
a band, when they get to the club, all they see is the band is already on stage. They're having a good time playing music, rock and roll. It's all fun and games. But what they don't see is the behind the scenes, the logistics of being in a band, which includes the rehearsal times. It includes setting stuff up. In my eyes, I think that's where the musicians really make their money, is setting and breaking down the equipment. Because everything in between is child's play. For me, you know, you wake me up, as long as the drum kit is already set up, I'll play anything on it. Not a problem. It's the setting up and the tearing down. I think that's where the musicians really make their money.
That's right. Pack it in and pack it out.
Pack it out.
And that's the hardest thing. And you have to realize, okay, well, you only played 3 hours. Yeah, but it took 4 hours to do this. And then after, you know, you guys are leaving the clubs at 12 o'clock at night. We're not getting home till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we have to unload.
Yep.
It's
exactly.
What ends up being a 3-hour gig is really really eight
About
hours.
6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So you guys mentioned earlier that you do covers and originals, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what do you prefer to play, in all honesty, Greg?
definitely originals. I would love to go and get in my truck and go and play an hour original material with Willie Nelson as being the frontline band. I would love to be a backup band to play in the big gigs. Cover material is great, it's fun, you get to see people dancing to your music, but definitely original material.
What's your
I would
answer?
have to agree. Seeing people dance and having a good time to cover music, that's great. But, you know, that band has already made their million. You know, their music is already on the radio. It's time for us, White Truck Band, to have our material, our original material on the radio. I really would love to see a show where White Truck is playing nothing but original music, opening for a local band. You know, it doesn't really matter who, so long as the crowds are able to enjoy White Truck's
Exactly.
original music.
Exactly. That's the secret, you know. I mean,
Mhm.
you could be a copy band forever, but you know, I
But
think
you're getting known for playing somebody
Somebody
else's
else's
music.
Exactly.
I would love to be known for playing our own original music. That would be great.
Yeah.
Being
Nothing
able to-
better than having your little boy when you're playing a song and he's singing your original song. He's like, he knows the words as good as you do, and it doesn't have to be on the radio, but it would sure be nice to have, you know, Cameron go, "Wow, Dad, listen, you're on the radio with Littleface."
Exactly.
Speaking of your originals, who does most of the songwriting? Greg, we want to answer that one?
Well, you know, when we first started, it was definitely me. But as time went on, all of us are songwriters. Johnny is a really good blues songwriter. I'm more of a contemporary, dark kind of writer. Rob, he always has an influence with our music. And when we figure, oh, well, as far as we can go, he'll come up with the perfect beat to make it to where it's the song that you said, oh, wow, I'm glad that you put that in, Rob, because that's exactly what I was thinking about. And Rob has a lot of songs that he's written, and I call it electronic music, but he has a really good, it's almost like movie material music. He does it on his own, but it's fantastic. It really is fantastic.
And what is your answer to that, Rob? What is your take on who does what you see? Who does most of the songwriting? Or if it's a collaborative effort?
I see that Greg writes a lot of really great stuff, and Johnny, you know, his lyric content, he really comes up with some innovative lyrics for some of the music that we've all written. A lot of times I think Johnny is writing lyrics from a standpoint of how can I get the crowds involved in our music?
Yes.
You know, is it a lyric that's going to hit home with the crowds? And I think that's what he tries to do. He tries to write lyrics that are going to hit a familiar chord, so to speak, with the crowds that come and see us at our shows.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We're right on schedule, so good job, guys.
That sounds great.
So, I just want to ask you a few more things. Have you guys ever done any other interviews before for any radio stations or anything like that?
We did a Thunder Rally interview, and we thought we were great, and then all of a sudden, we never got to see it.
Exactly.
Somebody. Well, it was a big deal. It was one of the biggest biker fests I've ever been to. There was thousands of people at this thing, and all of a sudden, the production company just like
They
never
dropped the
saw
ball.
it. Yeah.
They dropped the ball on the interview. They dropped the ball on the so-called video that, you know, all the bands were supposed to get.
And that's what we love about you, Tammy. We know that you're going to put it out. And you know something else? We did do another interview one time, and we never saw that either. It's like sometimes people, well, you know how it is.
Yes.
Sometimes people do things and they just have trouble.
Right.
And I really appreciate what you're doing for us tonight because it's fun. And I know that my cousin in Scotland might actually be able to put it on and watch it and listen to it. You know? That's great.
Well, it'll be posted soon, and you guys know that I'm big fans of yours because I do come out and see you play as much as possible, and I also play your music as much as possible, which we're going to get to in a minute here. But just real quick, do you guys have anything you want to say in closing to your fans or whatever? Rob, start with you.
All I've got to say is I would love to see as many of your faces out at our shows. Those of you that are in the ATX area, come on out. You know, don't be scared. Don't be shy. You know, get your friends together. You know, call up your favorite buddy that you haven't drank a couple of beers with in a while, and just come on out and see White Truck at a venue close by.
Do you have anything in closing, Greg?
Well, you know, in Austin, there's so many bands and so many things going on. But the good thing about it is we like to play to entertain you. So y'all come out to the gigs. We'll buy you a beer.
There you go. All right. So, Rob, being that you do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work, can you give our listeners here, our Third Strike Rockers, can you give them your websites? Or at least one of them.
Yes, we can be found at on Facebook, of course, www.facebook.com/White Truck Band. And, just connect with us on Facebook. Stop by, say hi, say you heard us on Third Strike Rock. And, we'll respond, we'll say hello back and, make you a friend. Definitely like us on Facebook. Right now we are trying to build up our Facebook, friends.
Well, it's the easiest way to do it. It really is.
Exactly. Everybody is on Facebook, so why not like White Truck Band?
Make it easy.
And make it easy.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up, and we are gonna play one of your songs. Greg, tell us about the song that we're gonna play. It's called "Getting Over You," correct?
Well, this song, I just picked it because it's a perfect example of acoustic only, and Rob did a really good job on percussion, and it's very quiet, and it kind of speaks out to some of the problems that we have in life, and we don't have any control over it. And I think Johnny does a really good job talking about that. And I think every song should have a story.
Exactly.
All right, well, listen, guys, thank you so much for coming to our Third Strike Rock studio.
Third Strike rocks.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thanks, Tamara.
We're going to take you right into this tune. Once again, this tune is called "Getting Over You" by White Truck Band out of Jonestown, Texas.
Just can't seem to get you off my mind. I dream about you every day and night. And if you only knew how much you mean to me, and how hard it is, girl, to set you free. Restless days, baby,
I stand before you today fully awake, but I dream the dream of Jesus, of Muhammad, of Gandhi, of Martin Luther King, and every spiritual and religious leader that have come before us. I have a dream that one day we will erase the lines that have long separated us as human beings into states and countries with borders between us, where people have suffered from exploitation, from what they have or do not have, and we all can roam the earth in a peaceful coexistence, where no one comes from any place else but here. I have a dream that when it comes to life matters, the eyes of the world will go blind to color, will go blind to gender, will go blind to size and nationality, and begin to see themselves as brothers and sisters, seeking love and togetherness through the hearts of one another. Yes, I have a dream that the religions of separation have made us tired of struggling against one another, tired of those beliefs that an all-powerful creator could want or need us to harm or destroy anything that is created, and to love and to serve that creator and the created perfect regardless of what language and name that you have chosen to give. I have a dream that the schools of the world will teach love and togetherness as their first lesson and last lesson, and that any brother of mine, whether he be black,